Greetings, viewers. This is A Vision Entertainment once again, and I am your host, Tommy Slaughter. One, and here comes the two to the three and four. You know what time it is. He told us nobody could do it better, and he was right. Make some noise for a true pioneer, the D.O. to the C. Doc, how you feeling, brother?
And I'm too blessed to be stressed, Kim Folk. How about yourself?
Likewise, brother. Likewise. I woke up this morning, man. I feel good. I thank God for that.
All the time.
That's right. That's right, man. I know I just want to just jump into some things. I want to say thank you for coming on to the show. I know I've been reaching out to you a lot. Thank you for that, man. For taking my emails, my messages. You know,
Love Kim Folk. We all in this together. We trying to figure it out.
that's right. That's right, man. And I appreciate you, man. I do. I can't talk about the new stuff or just the, N.W.A. I want to go back to the Fila crew. We say Fila in Philly, and it's Fila where you are, right?
Yeah, Fila.
All right. Well, you started as Doc T and the Fila
Yeah,
Fresh crew. What was
yeah.
the what was the local Dallas hip hop scene like in the mid '80s?
It was a virgin back then. Just a lot of young cats trying to figure it out. Because it hadn't popped anywhere else but up there where you boys is at.
Yeah,
Uh, New York and Philly and the East Coast was really where it was at. It wasn't, you know, it was they was doing some stuff
mhm.
on the West Coast, but it was, like dance music, and it wasn't real hip hop music.
Yeah,
From my perspective, it was
mhm.
a lot of uh, Fruity Party and Snake Puppy and all those guys
Yeah.
with that stuff. But it was just a version down there in Dallas. Young cats trying to figure it out.
Okay. Y'all definitely was on the move too. Down in Dallas doing your thing because now you got the toughest man alive. That song and I hate to go to work. That was another one. The toughest man alive, and I hate to go to work. Looking back at your debut album, again, toughest man alive. That was '88. What was the creative dynamic between you, Fresh K, Dr. Rock during those sessions?
Uh, was 87 when we made those songs. And really was just Rock was a DJ and I was a rapper writer and Curtis was like the hype guy, and we was just trying to figure that shit out. I didn't know what I wanted to be,
Yeah,
what I wanted to be. If you listen, I hate to go to work. It's really Fresh Prince of Dallas, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Because it's whole cadence and made a record.
yeah, that.
The toughest man alive is more boom bap East Coast than than what Will was doing. But Will was really hot during that time. And so Dr. Rock was the DJ. He was like, you got to do something like that.
Yeah,
And so that's what the toughest man. I mean, that's what I had to go to work was my version of what he was doing.
yeah,
And it was just fun, bro. We was having fun, trying to find our way
yeah.
and be great.
That's right. Trying to figure it out, man. Well, that Dallas to LA connection, your group was featured on the N.W.A. and the Posse compilation in 1987. How did the crew from Dallas manage to catch the air of Dr. Dre and Eazy-E so early on?
So the guy that I just mentioned, the DJ,
Yeah,
his name is Dr. Rock. He was a part of a DJ group in LA before he came to Dallas. The DJ group in LA was called a World Class Wrecking Crew. This is before they made records. They was just DJs. So when he came to Dallas, when they started making records, he was playing their records on the underground. So Turn Out the Lights and Dr. Dre and all of that stuff, he played on the radio on his Saturday night radio show in Dallas. And then when Boys in the Hood came out, he played Boys in the Hood on his show, and that record blew. And so when that record blew, he invited those guys to Dallas to do a show at the skating ring, and that's how we all connected.
That was dope. That was dope. So Straight Outta Compton, Eazy Does It era. You wrote Eazy's verse on Straight Outta Compton, F the Police, Gangsta Gangsta, and We Want Eazy. What was the most difficult song to write within any of them that you can think of?
I'm a writer, bro. That's what I do. It's not difficult for me. None of it is. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. It was a good time. It was a good opportunity for all of us. I made their songs better, and they put me out in front of more people.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Because people were saying that also Q was writing, and you definitely wrote like Baby a good percentage of Niggas for Life in '91 too. So that's why I was saying what was difficult, because you wrote a lot, and not just from N.W.A. perspective. But how did your experience prepare you for intense environment, for the intense environment at Ruthless Records? How did you get prepared for that?
You can't get, coming from where I came from, you couldn't get prepared for that. You didn't know. I didn't know nothing about the streets when I left Dallas. And so I just got throughout in the middle of it. But I was the golden goose. So wasn't nobody trying to let nothing happen to the golden goose. So I wrote it out. But you couldn't be prepared for that. Cats in LA is raised different from cats in Texas at that time. Them dudes out there is raised for war. And you could live right on the next block from a dude and be trying to kill the dude like that. I wasn't raised like that, in Texas.
Wow, different.
Yeah, bro. It was night and day, from where I came from. But when I was young, the boys was trying to knuckle up. They wasn't trying to knuckle up there. They was trying to get you up out of there.
Yeah.
Up there, and so it was a different environment, but we worked all day, every day. We was in the studio making music, and stayed out the way. I went out with them boys, Cube and DJ Yella, to a couple of their skating rings, and quickly realized, that I don't need to be out there. I need to keep my ass in the house, which is what I did.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, because you stay safe. Plus, you had a lot of talent, so you don't need to be out there in the world. You know what I mean? You're gonna stick in where where you believe is money gonna be made, and you're gonna make a living out of all that. I have to ask you this question, man. You did a song called Portrait of a Masterpiece. When you were doing that song, and you said, "Hold up, Dre, stop the beat. Let me catch my breath." Was that set up that way, or were you really tired? Because it was a long flow song without a hook. So, and how many takes was it? Was it one take doing that record?
Hold on, Dre, stop the beat. Let me catch my breath.
Hey, yo, man, why you stopping? That was funky.
Catch my breath.
All right, you got it?
Yeah.
Kick it.
Okay. One take. And the hold up wasn't planned, but to come back in the way it came back in, Dre did that.
Oh, okay, that was dope. It sounded like it was all together, and it was like y'all set it up, but it was so perfect. It was perfect the way how it went.
It
Wow.
was good record.
And how long did you have to take a break before you go to the next song after making Portrait of a Masterpiece? Because I know y'all was going song, song, song. How long did it take you to, just sit down and chill?
Like we was working.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, bro. No time. And usually you do one, maybe two songs a day. And
wow.
so it's not a lot. Because those guys are serious about their production. And it take a long time to get the music right. Then you go in to do the words, and then Dre spend a lot of time mixing on it. So you only get a chance to do, a couple songs
Yeah.
uh, a day.
I'm the diggy diggy doc, y'all. Pumping it, yes, y'all.
Did you know them songs was going to hit like that, or just another day that we doing in the lab?
I knew it.
Oh, you knew.
Because I knew it. I knew. Because I knew I was better than everybody else. I was like, I mean, I ain't no fool, nigga. I can hear it.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's songs like Funk Enough and The Formula and Doc and the Doctor. Those songs just hit different. Like you knew when they hear this shit, it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? You
no,
knew it was gonna be over. It's gonna be over with. And I knew that like them N.W.A boys,
yeah,
it took them a minute to cross over into the East. But when my record came out, nigga, the East was like, welcome home, nigga.
right.
They was like, they was like, this nigga is one of ours,
That's
you
right.
know?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying in Philly. We used to rock we used to rock Lend Me an Air, Doc and the Doctor. That beat was just crazy. You needed a system in your car that the when it come on, it's banging, man. You did a hell of a job, man. You did. And you also mentioned your writing contracts weren't proper, like in proper standing at that time. Did you feel properly credited for the massive impact you had on those albums or the album you wrote?
You know, not by a long shot. Uh, but man, that's just the way the game go. Kinfolk, I can't be mad at it because that's just where the game go. I can't blame nobody,
Yeah,
because it's my business. I should have been more on top of my business.
yeah,
But I didn't know I was gonna have a wreck and shit. I thought,
yeah.
yeah, y'all can play these games now, but in a minute I'm gonna show you boys what it's about.
That's right. That's right.
But I never got a chance to. God had a different plan for me.
That's right.
But I'm still here, so that means the story ain't over yet.
That's right.
That means I might not have got the credit back then, but it seemed like doors is opening up to start giving me that credit now.
That's right.
And so I'll take it now.
That's right. That's right. Because sometimes our time might not be that what God want us to have. So we may think it's one thing, but God have a whole nother plan for you. Knowing how much the game changed, what is the most important lesson you learned about the art of making a record that you still hold on to this day?
But the best thing you can do about making great art is be authentic. And if you listen to rap music now, you'll think every nigga in the world is a dope dealer
Yeah,
and a gangbanger
yeah,
that sell all kind of dope and kill all kind of niggas everywhere they go. And if that was the truth, there wouldn't be no niggas out there. So somebody lying. You know. Um, so the game, I figure that the game is pushing this kind of stuff for a purpose.
right,
But there's no longevity in it. There's no you won't find it's been close to 40 years since I put out No One Could Do It Better. And it's kids fathers show up to places where I go with their sons, and their sons be like, "Man, I love your record, and it's this, and it's so different." And whoop-de-whoop. So that's because it's authentically me, and I care about the music. I don't have a trade nothing other than, I'm rapping. So that's about how I'm trying to portray. And I don't want death or destruction on nobody. I'm just trying to make us have a good time. But the way these boys make records today, if they're not trying to get you to kill yourself with the dope, they're trying to get you to kill yourself with the peace. And sooner or later, you're gonna end up one or two places playing that game. Like you don't get to be an old rich guy playing that game. You just don't. You get to be young and either go to the penitentiary young or go to the graveyard young. You have 4 or 5 good years with some money. You make a few little babies, and now these babies got to grow up without direction. You know what I mean? It's just not the way to do it. And by now, it seems like the old niggas in the game by now should be telling folks that a lot more. And you can do that without being soft. You can do that without seeming like you're trying to, bow down to the business or, so my thing is, I got this new record I'm making, and it's gonna be a whole lot of that in it from a real nigga perspective. How we need to switch this thing up while we still got a chance to do something with it. Cause right now they got it. The white folks got it. They shaking it up like dice. They doing it what they want to do with it, and we just zombies walking through it, trying to get twos and fews. Even though hip hop is $1 billion industry and dominating still 40 years later. You know what I mean? And that was ours. It was all ours at the beginning, and now it ain't none of ours. And so for me, it's about getting this shit back on point, putting some leaders back in the proper place, and making it do what it do.
That's right. All that is very important, man, because we do need leaders. Our men is not really leading anymore, and they want to be the young boys now. It's the old dudes want to be the youngins now. You know what I mean? So there's really no motivation out here, with our old. I call them old heads, but old heads anymore. So I think in that way, we do have a few. We have a few still trying, but not too many. Not
it's a few of them out there on all kind of levels, but we are way outweighed by the game and the money. And these youngsters, they gonna fly where the money's at because they think that's where it's at. Yeah. So, you old niggas, you gotta get your business head wrapped around the art of doing business. Because if you want it, these white folks can't stop you if you want it. They can't. It's just a fact. You letting them have it because you're trying to take the easy way out.
That's right. That's right, man. It's real sad, man, what's going on today. But you have something real good that you're doing with the kids. Can you tell us more about the innovative school you are developing that focuses on gaming and the creator economy and software? How does hip hop culture fit into this new educational vision you have?
Bro, the vision is all hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, even the way I'm going about it is because I don't have money like my guys that I came up with. They got money they could go, spend 10, 20 million and build. I don't got it like that. I gotta get in the mud and make the bricks myself, if I want it to happen. And so I'm getting out there with these babies, showing them the path that I went through, giving them the access that I got, giving them the connections that I got. The school is called the Dreams Experience Academy, DEA for short. And even that is hip hop because when you start putting DEA on hats and shirts and shit, then they automatically get attracted to that because they think it's the other shit.
Other
But
stuff.
but when I get you in this room and start talking to you, then you understand what it really is. You know what I mean? And that's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to show you where there's money at. And so if I can show you where the bread is, then I can ask something of you. You know what I mean? And I can show you that you don't have to go that way to get this money. You can go this way and get that money. And you can keep it over here. You know? And if you start thinking about gentrifying your own shit instead of complaining about what they doing, then you can control your shit. You can own your shit. And then you can start pushing that element out that you don't want in there by yourself. You know, you don't need these folks to do it for you. You can do it by yourself. There's been enough of us that's then went down there to that place and came back. That if we wanted to, we can put all these boys together and say, you know what, we're not doing this over here no more. And they'll have to respect that. They'll have to. Because don't nobody want to die out here, man. These boys talk that talk, but they ain't trying to go nowhere. You know what I mean? That's why they shoot at you from way over there. You know?
That's right.
Yeah, bro. So it's
So
just a matter of
what's
putting the game plan together and getting out in these streets and putting some work in.
well, do you have any support by like Dre and the old crew, Yella, about what you're doing with the children? Do you have any support backing you by them?
Not really. So, uh, Snoop is really giving the effort, but those guys are different from me, and I don't ask
Okay.
because if you say no, then now you done turned it into something else. Concentrate on being friends with you, and if you want to help me, you will. You'll reach out to me and say, "Hey, Doc, I see what you're doing. What can I do?"
Right. That's right. If you want to help, if you really want to get in and help you with this, yeah, you're right. You're right, man. My last
Shoot,
yeah.
look, if I ask you and you tell me, no, I got a problem with you.
Wow, wow. So you might as well, like you said, you don't even ask. You don't
No,
ask at all. Wow, man. Wow. My last question, brother. If you can talk to the 21-year-old version of yourself right before the accident, what would you tell him to prepare him for the next 3 decades?
tell that dude, man, have faith. Keep your faith. You're gonna need it.
Right. Right.
keep
Right.
your faith. You know what I mean? Like it's a God thing. It's not a D.O.C thing, folks. And God chose folks to walk a certain path, and He chose me to walk this path. I know for one, I know none of them niggas that I used to fuck with could have walked this path. None of them. They'd have got out of here by now, one way or the other. They certainly would have never made it back after falling so far over there, you know. And so God know what he did. He know who he did it with, and he did it for a purpose. And sooner or later, everybody gonna see that.
Right. Well, look, man, you look good, brother. You still standing strong. And like I said, man, once again, I thank you for coming on. I wish I had more time. One day, I guess in the future, we can do it again if possible, if God will. We can do it
Yeah,
again.
man.
You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I thank you, man. And I just let the people know like what you have what you doing now, and you know what's for you next in music? Do you have any artists you signing?
Bro, I'm working. You know what I mean? I don't want to tip my hat or hand, but I'm working. And God is moving. And it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna crack. Uh, when it's gonna crack, I don't know. But I know it's gonna crack like an egg around this motherfucker sooner or later, because it's
That's right.
what I'm doing is too good. I finally came into this voice and understand what it's for. And then as soon as I got through chasing that other voice,
Mhm.
AI showed up and gave me that other voice back anyway. You know, and so it's a lot going on.
Yeah,
If you want to see about the school, go to doccares.org, D.O.C. CARES.org. If you want to help me build,
yeah,
selling like, well, if you give me a $50 donation, I'll autograph that first album to you that I had repurposed and repackaged, autograph it and send it to you, and help me help these babies, you know. And, you know, I truly believe my day is going to come, my time is coming, and I'm just going to stay purposeful, I'm going to stay prayerful, and keep it moving until that day happens. And when it happens, you going to know it. You know, you going to know it, they going to know it, and everybody going to know uh, that it's a God thing.
right. That's right. Wake them up. Wake up the dead. Wake up the ones who sleeping on God. You know,
That
wake them
right.
up.
That right.
Yo, I thank you, man. Doc Dio, the legend, the pioneer D.O.C. Man, I thank you for coming on to the show. You know, like I said, hopefully we can do it again. But I want you to have a great day. Continue your great day, man. You know,
Lessons, kinfolk. I appreciate you.
thank you, brother, and peace out, man.